In this lesson, we shall proceed in derivative of transcendental function. So today, we will look at derivative of logarithmic function. Now, there are two types of logarithmic function of significance in mathematics. For instance, if I have something like this, if y equals log f of x to base b, in this case where b is greater than 1, of course the b is called the base of the logarithm. Now what determines the nature of this logarithm is determined by the value of b. For instance, if I have y equals log f of x to base e, in that case my b equals to e in this case, and this is a natural or Napierian logarithm, logarithmic function. So it means that in this case my base b is equals to e. I hope you are following. Now, if I have y equals to log f of x to base 10, this is a common logarithm. Common logarithmic function. Common logarithmic function. So in this case, my b equals to 10. So b equals to 10 implies that this one is a common logarithm. B equals to base e, which is an Euler constant. Euler constant. Euler constant is my base e. So what determines the nature of the logarithm is the base. So let's now look at the derivative of each of them. So let's start from the first one very quickly. So if y equals log f of x to base e, which can also be written as ln f of x, that is, if I don't want to write this function like this, I can write it this way. It's still the same thing. Then dy dx is equals to the first derivative of the function. First derivative of the function. It means you differentiate this function once, which is f prime x, then divide it by the function itself, which is what? F of x. Let's look at an example. For example, if y equals log 4x plus 7, for instance, to base e, I can rewrite this function as this. Ln 4x plus 7 is still the same. So, in order to differentiate or to find the first derivative of this function y equals log 4x plus 7 to base e, I will now write solution. It therefore means that I need to identify my f of x at first. I want my f of x in this case. I have 4x plus 7. I hope you are following. So if I differentiate f of x, which is 4x plus 7, that gives me f prime x, differentiating the function once, that is our f prime x, which is the derivative of the function 4x plus 7 with respect to x. So if I differentiate 4x plus 7, that gives me what? 4. If I differentiate 7, I will have 0 because 7 is a constant. So it therefore implies that my dy dx in this case is f prime x divided by f of x. So what is my f prime x in this case? My result is 4. Then I will now divide it by the function itself, which is what? 4x plus 7. And that is my final answer. Please quickly jot it down as we move to the next example. So, example 2. Differentiate with respect to x. Y equals log x cubed plus x squared negative 4 divided by, in base e. So in this case, I will need to quickly identify my function. What is my function here? F of x, which is what? X cubed plus x squared negative 4. So differentiating this once will give me what? F prime x. Differentiating the function just once, that implies d x cubed plus x squared negative 4. So if I differentiate this automatically, I will have f prime x to be, if I differentiate x cubed, it means I will have what? 3 times x. I will subtract 1 from 3. So that gives me 3x squared plus, if I differentiate x squared, that will be 2 times x, then subtract 1 from the power. What do I have? That will be 2x. If I differentiate negative 4, that gives me 0, because 4 is a constant. So f of x prime is this. So the implication is that my dy dx, applying this principle, that dy dx, if I differentiating the logarithmic function to base e to the f prime x divided by the function itself, which is 3x squared, in short, which is f prime x divided by the function itself. And what is my f prime x, which is the first derivative? That gives me what? 3x squared plus 2x, then divided by the function itself. What is the function itself? That will be x cubed plus x squared negative 4. So in this numerator we can factorize x, and that gives me what? X into brackets 3x plus 2, then divided by what? X cubed plus what? X squared negative 4. And that is my final answer. Please quickly jot it down.